Okay, so mobility workout 2. This one's going to start with, first one you finish with myofascial. This one I want you starting with your foam rolling. Foam rolling is another one of those things, if you're not familiar with it, it can feel kind of weird at first, but it does do wonders. You probably aren't going to take your foam roller on a hiking trip with you, but maybe you can if you're car camping or something. This is the easiest one. I have links in the course for the different ones, but this is the easiest one to start on, but quite honestly, like, it doesn't feel, it gets really soft really fast, so if your muscles are tight, you might not like it. This one's way more intense. I personally don't love the knobs on this one, but I don't have with me my Manduka foam roller that I'll show you. It's in the course. It's the one I took a picture of. That's the best one. I really think it's worth its couple. It's probably like $10 more expensive than the others, but it's really great. And it's shorter, so it doesn't take up so much room. So you're going to start off, we're going to again go from the top of the posterior chain and work our way down. You're going to start off with the neck, laying with the foam roller and the curve of the cervical spine, and just work on rolling side to side. This one's always great to help you feel warmed up before you start working out. From here, you're going to do the back. And so it does take a little bit of ab strength. That's why we started at the beginning. So as you lift your hips, you just roll up and down the length of the spine. It can feel really good to reach the arms overhead. Great for your coordination. And you just roll up and down. There's no real wrong or right way to do it other than not getting your hair stuck in the foam roller. Next is the glutes. You're just going to sit on the foam roller, roll the glutes forward and backwards. You can come over on one side, on one hip. Roll here. And then you can eventually go all the way on your side and roll the IT band. This one, the white one, is kind of nice for the IT band if your IT band's really tight. And then eventually you work your way to your belly and you can roll your quads. And I skipped the hamstrings. If you want to roll your hamstrings too, it doesn't really feel as good. I feel like the pressure's kind of soft, but you can roll out your hamstrings too. Calves don't work so well with the foam roller. We stick with that's why on the other one, I usually do 15 to 20 minutes with the tennis balls because it's hard to foam roll your calves. Okay, so once you're foam rolled, you are going to start on your mobility work. We're going to work on the lower body now. So even though we want the posterior chain driving us on the trail, we still are going to be using our quads. It's natural part. So we're going to work a little bit on the glutes, and we're going to work a little bit on the quads too. The first thing you're going to do is actually for your quads is working your VMO. So this muscle is that small muscle right here above the knee, and if you flex your foot, flex your toes and lift your heel and flex, you should see a muscle right here. If you don't see one, you need to do a little bit more of this because the VMO is going to keep your knee stable when you're hiking. So if you have a lot of knee injuries, there's a chance that if you strengthen your VMO, it might go away. So getting the right positioning is a little different for everyone. Some people have to lean into it more in order to feel it. I actually feel a little bit more here, but it could be possibly just that I have more strength here, and so I can feel it. But foot flexed, little pulses. We're going for 30 per leg. So if you're doing 10 and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm dying, you know you have some homework to do. You might need to do this every day until it gets strong. And it's normal for your leg to shake, especially if you're talking at the same time. Okay, so you're going to do VMO both sides, 30 reps. From here, our favorite exercise. You're going to work on a bent leg bridge. So feet flat on the floor, get your feet close to your hips, hands on the floor to help you balance. Drive through your heels, trying to get a straight line from your knees all the way to your shoulders and then back down. Nice control. You should feel it in your butt if you do it right. After you get about 30 here, you're going to extend one leg up in the air and then do the same thing for 15 on one side and then 15 on the other side. Now, if you want a little extra bonus, when you finish that, you can keep your hips up in line with your knees and alternate extending your legs. Trying to keep your hips from shifting side to side. Nice. Perfect. Then after that, we're going to work the outer hips. So So you're gonna roll over on your side, beach pose. You're gonna make sure your hips are stacked on top of each other, foot flex that's on top, and then lift the leg. You should feel it right here on the side of your outer hip, okay? If you're feeling it somewhere else, control the movement a little bit slower. You could be just swinging your leg up and down, or work on rotating forward a little bit. It's a lot of times people tend to be rolled back, and so they end up feeling the front of the hip. You want to feel it right here on the side, okay? 30 reps we're working towards on this. And then you'll do the other side, and then you get to stretch that muscle. So a basic figure 4, you put heel on your thigh, reach through, grab the back of the hamstring or grab the shin. If you need a strap, you can use a strap. Okay? That's your basic figure 4. Should feel a nice stretch in the outer hip. If you get to a point where you're like, that's kind of easy, I want something harder, you can start working into a pigeon pose. So if your hands are in tabletop position, you'll bring your right knee to your right wrist, left foot towards your left wrist, and then slide your back foot back. And you're welcome to lay all the way down. Okay, so figure 4 or pigeon's fine. Either one works. After that sequence, your glutes and hips should feel a slight burn, but also feel pretty open. Okay, so now we're going to work on the upper body. The first exercise, let me add to this. If you feel like you need more shoulder work than this, there's a blog on our website with a bunch more exercises similar to this that you can add to your routine. It wouldn't hurt to do more, but this is the minimum you should be doing to just have some basic strength through the rhomboids and mid-back. So you're gonna hold your band so your thumbs are pointing up, grip it, elbows to the sides of your body, take the shoulders, roll them down your spine. Then once you're in this position, you're gonna pull the band. You're gonna pull the band apart. Yeah, that burns. Okay, after you get 15 of your band Buddha, you're gonna take your strap and we're gonna work stretching the internal and external rotators. So taking the strap in the top hand, bend the elbow, then take the thumb pointing down, reach up, grab the strap, and you can work your hands closer together. Work on posture, chin stays up, so if it means you have to loosen your grip, that's fine. And then you do the other side. Okay, so after you get a shoulder stretch that way, we're gonna try a handcuff stretch. There need to be 2 options for your handcuff stretch. One, you can interlace your hands behind you, put them on an elevated surface, and lean forward, but that's not happening for me. My shoulders are way too tight for that. So I'm gonna hold a strap. I'm gonna have a little distance, then bring my hands up and work on opening up my chest and shoulders. Okay? You can go as wide as you need to if your shoulders are really, really tight. If your shoulders are really flexible, then interlace them and you can lean forward or walk your hips away from the surface. Now, if that's not happening or you don't have a surface to put them on, you can easily do the same thing, just holding the strap and interlacing your hands behind you and holding this here, or out of forward fold and work on drawing your arms over your head. So a couple different options, but this way we strengthen your shoulder blades a little bit. We work some mobility in this direction, and in this direction, opening up the chest. So your shoulders should feel better. After you work the shoulders, you have one more mobility work on the low back and hips. So first is a butterfly stretch. You can bring your heels really close to your groin, like a traditional butterfly stretch, and get a little bit more inner thigh. If you feel like you need a little more hips, walk your feet out so you're more like a diamond, and then bring your forehead down. And after that stretch, a supine twist. So lying down, extend one leg, draw one knee to your chest, and then take it cross body. Sometimes you have to scoot your bottom hip under you a little bit more. Apply a little bit of pressure to your knee if that feels good. Or if it's too much, stick a block under the knee. And then extend that opposite arm and finish off with a twist. All right, so that was your mobility work 2. Should have been a nice recovery from your last 2 workouts and get you prepped for tomorrow's workout.